What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the land of Reckless Logic. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack the notification bell so do not miss any of my posts from me. Let's get straight into this video because, baby, I have a lot to say. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Even though this is a review, I'm going to be honest with y'all. It was only like two things that really happened in this episode. So with that being said, I can kind of go kind of off the dome when it comes down to this. And plus, I'm just practicing something new. So with that being said, give me 1 second. Water break. Whew. All right, so we start off where we left off. So basically where we left off is just about they're upstairs. Now we have Cristobal, aka Christopher Milan. We have Jonathan Wright, and then we have Rio, twin. Now I'm not gonna say I feel bad for Rio, so I think I'm gonna take his name off because baby, in this episode, it did not work out for him. I can tell you that much. So all three of them are upstairs, and basically what we end up seeing Jonathan Wright, Hook, and twin, aka Rio, fighting. Now I will say that Rio was like, it's not. No, just give a little summary. It's not. And he was taking off his stuff, and then Jonathan was taking off his stuff. But however, in the midst of Jonathan trying to take his jacket off, Rio was ambushing. Why? Now, here's where things took a turn. Things took a turn only because of the simple fact of, yes, Rio did attack first. But the thing is that they was kind of keeping up to a certain degree. Rio was fighting with one hand. Jonathan was fighting with two. And then it was still okay somewhat. But then once Jonathan got Rio on that dresser, it was a done deal, baby. Tore his ass up, bitch. So in the midst of them fighting, they over tumbling. Security get involved. Camera people, they all around trying to get the best angle, trying to see what the hell going on. They falling all over each other. So in the midst of that, Jonathan's able to pull out Rio's, aka Twin's, hair. Now this is when he made the transformation from Rio to Crystal Milan by the scalp. He was able to make that transition. So that's basically what ended up happening. So as time going on, Milan, now this thing, I noticed Milan, at first he was here for it. He was laughing. But then when he noticed that Rio wasn't really having the upper hand, or at least keeping up, that smirk started to slowly slide off his face. So that's basically what ended up happening. It was the craziest thing I've seen. So, and then on top of that, Milan go say out his mouth, talk about something. He was like, "Oh, this is lame. Y'all out here fighting." But I thought in your interview, I thought that's what they were there to do. They were there to fight. So I'm confused on why you talking about it's lame for them to fight. But however, like you said, they were brought there to fight. Make it make sense. 2 + 2 = 7. It's not adding up. I'm telling you, it's not adding up. So in the midst of that, they get somewhat separated. But then Jonathan, at this point, he's activated. He's on level, I'm going to say 10. He's on a 10. He's on 10 right now. Well, I'm going to say a 7 right now. So then he pointed at Christopher Milan and said that you're next. I'm over here knocking stuff off. Hey. But he talk about you next. I'm like, oh, girl, you better buckle up. You better lace up, bitch. So all of a sudden, Milan's talking about, I told y'all, I'm not fighting. I'm like, okay, girl, you not fighting. We get that. So then they kind of go back and forth or whatever. But then Jonathan goes and tries to go for the fire extinguisher and points it in Milan's direction. Now Milan goes on a whole tangent. Oh my God, that when I tell you that bad boy, he ran about that room. And keep in mind, he left his friend in the process that was there to like kind of defend him in a sense. Well, for viewer purposes. But the whole thing is, oh my God, he going all off. He tried to throw, and he was like, oh, he tried to set the house on fire with the fire extinguisher and a lighter. I was like, I said, hold up, that don't make no sense. How are you going to say that he tried to set you on fire with a lighter and a fire extinguisher? Now, I'm not good at chemistry. I'm not good at science. But I think it's quite safe for me, at least. I could be ignorant. At least for me to say the whole thing of the purpose of a fire extinguisher is to put out fire. So how the hell is that going to make sense? How was that going to make sense? It wasn't making sense to me. But however, he just needed to find his first excuse to get up out that room. I get it. I understand. So he left. So in the midst of him leaving, Jonathan can't lay hands on Crystal Ball because he done walked up out the house. So he grabs Rio's shoe. He keep trying to get to him. He over here jumping off walls, trying to get. There was a lot going on. In the midst of it, they get separated. Now, the security guards completely just roughhouse Rio and just push him in all in a different room. And I was like, dang, that's one thing I can say. The security be so rough when it comes down to like people fighting. Now, I do understand. It's your job to break up fights. But however, the purpose of breaking up a fight is to break up a fight, not be part of the fight. So if I'm sitting there fighting, I don't need you to put me in no chokehold. If I'm sitting there fighting, I don't need you to sit up there, put all your weight down on me, aka that's what happened with Crystal Ball, why his leg messed up now. It's not making sense to me. A lot of stuff not making sense to me this whole time period today. But anyway, in the midst of that, they get separated. Now Rio's on the bed, getting his shoes together. Well, I want to say more like allegedly Dylan's shoes together. So he tied the shoes up. Now the funny part was, well, this is toxic funny for me. It was toxic, but it was funny. He was sitting there talking about, yeah, he's gonna gag. But when I tell you Rio grabbed that lamp and tried to run to him so fast, that was funny as hell to me. But however, they ended up stopping him. They had a big giant commotion going on. But how in a nutshell, Jonathan ended up going downstairs because at this point he like, I done whooped this hole. You know, I got the room. I done whooped this hole. He like, cool. So he going downstairs to go party with the people. So as he going to party, he meets up with Carry On, aka Neo Soul. So Neo Soul talking about what's going on. I heard it was commotion. Y'all going up. Blah, blah, what's going on up there? He talking about I just fought. Yada yada yada. He just giving him the tea. So basically, they end up getting inside of the kitchen. So as they're in the kitchen, Jonathan is letting Neo Soul know what happened, what transpired in last 2.5 seconds. So basically, in the midst of that, Neo Soul is living it up. He's living it up. He's talking about can you handle the smoke? And then Jonathan talking about, bitch, I'm from Texas. I was like, yes, ma'am. I was like, come on, Texas. I was here for it. I was 1% here for it. Now, in the midst of all of them talking and stuff, Jonathan's trying to get back to partying. Now, as that is going on, Rio is coming from upstairs. Now, keep in mind, he lost. Now, Christopher Milan may not want to admit that, but he lost. So he's coming from downstairs. As he's coming from downstairs, he's still trying to get back at Jonathan because he felt like he didn't get a fair one. I really don't know what he felt like, but he wanted to fight again. I said, okay, cool. So they're kind of going back and forth, but then they square up. As they square up, now the first punch, Jonathan did miss. He did miss. Then, and the first punch, Rio did clock Jonathan, right hook. But however, in that second one, Jonathan most definitely recovered and hit this bitch with the power, with the full force of the first slave. When I tell you, when he hit him that second time, that bitch went flying across that damn floor. He flew across the floor, and then not only that, when he did that, he hit his ass another good time, and then after that, that's when security ambushed, a whole bunch of melee. Now, at that point, now Rio and Jonathan, they both are in the confessions letting us know what transpired in the meantime where security stuff was all in the way. So when all that was going on, we basically found that they was from security. We found out they was hugging each other. But however, we also find out that apparently Jonathan had bit Rio. And then we also find out that apparently Rio snatched Jonathan's chain and broke it or did something with it. He broke the bitch off. So eventually, now this is where people actually start to see what's going on. Because after like, what the hell? So this is where Anthony Gunner, all them, they're trying to see what the hell going on. In the meantime, they over there getting separated. When they get separated, Rio's taken outside. Jonathan ends up going in the garage. Now, baby, my first question during this through all this is, okay, not Jonathan, Crystal Ball ended up leaving. But my question is, where the hell did he go? You completely left your friend in the dark to fend for himself. Like, and that's the thing that I had, and that's one of the issues that I had with Christopher Milan. Because let's be quite honest, we knew you was kind of like you didn't want smoke with Jonathan. That's just a spade calling a spade. But the thing is, at least if you was gonna have your friend, or your friend was going to be up there fighting this man, then the first at least be able to check to see is your friend okay. Be like, are you good? You okay? Like you could at least did that, even if you wasn't gonna jump in, even if you wasn't even gonna try to like break the shit up. You at least make sure your friend is okay. Bitch, I digress. So as time go on, all of a sudden we see Rio talking to homeboy in the blue hat. Now blue hat is kind of a little bit bigger than Rio is. So he talking about some did he ambush you? Did he ambush you? Now I don't remember if Rio actually answered and said if he got ambushed or not. But I was like, well, if you actually saw the footage, your friend actually hit first and actually did ambush. But I digress. So in the midst of that happening, of him talking to Blue Hat in the front yard, at the front door, you hear Jonathan. You don't see him. You hear Jonathan coming up, and he knocks the crap out of Rio, and he puts him inside of the pond, in the front yard. When I tell you, Jonathan almost went to jail for life because he was damn near almost drowned that boy. Now, homeboy with the blue hat was acting like the way Milan should have been acting. Because homeboy with the blue hat knew that Rio didn't, I don't want to say caught off guard, but ambush, even though that is probably the case. But however, he didn't see it coming. And so since he's friends with Rio, he like back up off him. Which I understood. I was like, okay, cool. Now, another thing too. Now, the next scene we see Milan up in the bushes. We see him up in the bushes, scared as hell. Act like when I seen that scene, bitch, I was over it. I was over it. Now, I'm telling you the reason why I was over it. I was over it because he went in there, he went in those interviews acting like he wasn't scared. And I was over it because he was on Bigo talking to Jonathan when they was arguing back and forth, acting like he wasn't scared. I'm like, it doesn't matter how much they try to edit this stuff. You look scary. And another thing about it, he kept talking about my leg is messed up. My leg is messed up. You're being very selective about when this leg injury seems to come into place. And then on top of that, you jump. Oh, come on. Oh, my alarm going off. Come on, alarm. I'm already up. But then on top of that, you were on the wall and you jumped off the wall to go call the cops. Like, that doesn't make any sense. If your leg is hurt, why would you jump off the wall on a hurt leg to go call the cops? Like, you're being very selective. Now, will say that I do believe that his leg was actually hurt. But but also two things can't be true at the same time. But I also believe that he uses that injury as a crutch. I'm just going to be honest. Now, like I say, he was behind the wall, behind the bushes, scared as shit, shitting in his pants because Jonathan's on a rampage and his friend over here getting towed up. Now, I will say one thing I will say about Rio. I have more heart. I respect Rio more than I respect Christopher Milan, because reason being is because even despite losing, even despite the outcome of the fight, Rio was still willing to stand in the paint. he was still willing to go out there and fight if need to be. So I have more respect for Rio than Christopher Milan. Now, Christopher Milan sees the damage that is done to his friend, and keep in mind, his friend though still don't know where he at. His friend is still in the confession talking about some, yeah, I didn't expect him to jump in, but however, the thing is that I don't know what happened. What you mean you don't know what happened? My thing is this, because the confessionals are done after the fact. So with that being said, I have two conflicting ideas of what's going on here. Now, I do understand from watching interviews of some reality stars, they say when they do the confessions, they have to talk like they're really in that moment. So I was like, okay, that possibly could be be a thing. But however, the thing is that I'm confused because the thing is that Rio was still in his house after the fact. The confessionals happens after the fact. Rio and Milan have been together after the fact, and you still ain't getting no clarification where this bitch been. That's why I'm having a. But anyway, in the midst of that, Milan goes and call the cops. Now they are going back and forth. Bitch. It's going crazy. Jonathan on 10. Rio talking about you know, and in my head I'm like, I don't know what the hell he's supposed to know, and even if he's supposed to know it, you did not do a good job at executing and delivering the message that he's supposed to know, because it wasn't. I don't know what the hell he's supposed to know. Anyway, eventually the cops come because they was going haywire. The cops end up coming. They coming in because Milan called the cops and everybody. I said, "Come on, Karen." He calls the cops. The police ends up coming in. As they're coming in, they're trying to search for stuff, make sure there's no drugs, make sure there's no weapons, that fighting or whatever, which I find very crazy because, like, if they was brought there for a fight, then my question is, why didn't no one get in trouble? It was confusing, but whatever. Police end up leaving. When they end up leaving, they went back to party. Now, the thing is, to my knowledge, was Rio still there partying? Because my thing is, Jonathan was still there partying. Was Rio still there partying? Now, that's why I kind of got confused a little bit, because I kind of lost count. Because if that's the case, then they both were sitting there just partying after they had the big giant fight. Then what was the purpose of y'all fighting the next following day? I don't know. It wasn't making sense. But however, things went crazy. They ended up talking about the situation. We're gonna fast forward because after that point, everybody just wanted to be nosy. And I did notice that I did see a lot of people from Bigo, well, that I found out about on Bigo on the show. I said, come on, Bigo host, y'all better get y'all 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I know that's right, girl. But anyway, we fast forward. As we fast forward, Jonathan's just about talking with Anthony about what happened, yada yada. And keep in mind, too, let me just say this before I forget, because I'm doing this off the dome. Come on, Dome. Yes, ma'am. Another thing, too. Jonathan ended up going off on a security guard. Remember, I literally just said that with that, I don't like how the security guards be all rough and tough. And he was like, stop pushing me. I'm looking for my shithole. I was here for it. Because the thing is, security guards be hemming you up so damn rough to the point it's like, damn, bitch, I'm fighting you, or I'm fighting, like, am I fighting the security guard, or am I fighting this person over here? Like, bitch, you be handling these bitches. Now, I do understand it's your job to break stuff up, but at the same time, in the midst of you breaking stuff up, please don't try to break me. I get it. But don't try to break me in the process, aka that's the reason why Crystal Ball should be on crutches right now. I'm just saying. But anyway, he's talking to Anthony about what's going on, and Anthony basically said his confessional said that he's glad that he did not get involved only because Milan is his friend. Now, here's Anthony, come here. Come here, Anthony. Let's have a bit of a conversation, girl. Let's just kind of space. You don't like Milan like that. You don't. You don't like Milan like that. And the thing is that I just need for you to be honest about it. Like, and even if you like Milan, you need to be honest about how you feel. Because this is not the first time we done seen contradicting actions and experience when it comes down to you and what you say and the way that you act. Not the first time, baby. Carry on. Neo Soul has called you out for it. People, the viewers have called you out for it. And then now Milan is in his interviews are now calling you out for it. So if you feel a certain way, you need to be honest about it, or at least level it out. As I said, even though I may have problems with homeboy, I still don't see him in that light to where we're not cool. I'm just glad I didn't get involved with that because I'm not like enemies with him. Like, he could have said something like that. You know what I'm saying? But however, I digress. So with that being said, Jonathan ends up getting sent to a hotel. Now the thing is that Jonathan, like, I don't know, he was mad. He was like, first off, you mean tell me that y'all brought me here to this house, and then on top of that, I done put this boy out, and then y'all gonna send me to a hotel. So he was mad. I was like, okay, rightfully so, whatever. So in the meantime, everybody ends up getting back to the party, whatever. They end up having fun. Now, we're going to just fast forward. Now, the next following day, we hear Moolah talking about yo, I'm just waking up, yada, yada, yada. And he said he hears a whole bunch of commotion going on. And so basically what he ends up saying is that he ends up coming onto that balcony, and he ends up seeing Jonathan right hook hitting Rio with a steel chair like it's WrestleMania. And this is the infamous footage that ended up coming out before the show was actually out. Now, Gutter K, Skittles, Darrell was both there as well. Now, here's my thing. Now, Moolah, now this is what I noticed. Now, Moolah, weren't you the one that got on William Miss Ass So Big Like the Sun about leaking stuff from the show, but yet we find out it's your footage that's being used that was released before the show came out? So this is the pot calling the kettle black. Now, I do understand he may not have been the person that went and released the footage, but however, I'm going to say this. Even if that is the case, the thing is that it's still your footage, which means that it still had to come out of your possession. So even if it wasn't you that gave that footage to said media person, media outlet, it was still came from your camera phone. So, girl, forget that. But in the meantime, we see that Jonathan's beating the hell out of Rio with the chair, and then Rio runs into the house because he's hurt. Like I said, I'm like 90-10 when it came down to Rio. I felt bad for him in a sense. Like the 10%, I did feel bad. I felt bad for him in a sense of you are willing to go and defend your friend, but however, your friend is not willing to go to war and combat for you the same way that you would for them. I felt bad for him in that sense. But in the same sense, it's like you the one that went and attacked first. Like you're the one that did that. So at the end of the day, it's gonna make it. It's kind of off-putting, offsetting for people that want to feel bad for you. And it's like, girl, but you the one that swung first. So, girl, I don't know. But anyway, he runs in the house. Jonathan tries to get inside. Crystal Ball comes up and closes the door and says, "What the hell going on?" Jonathan ends up leaving. As Jonathan ends up leaving, Crystal Ball's he's on a roll. He's going crazy. Why was he here? What was going on? Why? Who over here made fried chicken? Who got grape soda? And he was just just saying a whole bunch of stuff. He was just going off. Natalie and the producers and what's the bitch name? The security guards end up coming back to the house because at this point things have occurred and things kind of went a little bit too left. The boy is bleeding. So Rio's sitting on a chair. He's bleeding out his hand. But also we learned from the confessional that Miss Gutter K, Skittles, allowed or kind of gave up information of who was at the house. Now, Gutter K basically let it be known and said that Jonathan ended up calling him saying, "Hey, friend, what's going on?" Da-da-da. Now, I believe that he was asking about his chain. I don't know. I heard that, but at the same time, I don't recall that. But however, he ended up calling saying, how what's going on? What's going on? Like, who's at the house? So he was like, okay, who's at the house? He let it be known that, Milan is here, and the friend is here as well. Yada. Now, from the outside looking in from both perspectives, I can get why everything turned out the way that it did. Do I believe Gutter K Skittles was messy as hell for doing that? Yes, I do believe that. I believe he was messy as hell for doing that. But however, I will say from Jonathan's standpoint, even let's just say, even if he wasn't going to go and attack, even if he was going to the house, you want to know who's over there, because bitch, I done whooped four, five bitches ass over here yesterday. Now all of a sudden I'm about to go back to the same house, even though I already know why he going back over there to try to attack that boy. For fuck all that chain shit. I'm being honest, I don't believe the chain thing. But the whole thing is that if I'm going back to this person's house, over to this house, and I done fought 4 or 5 bitches over there, I need to know who the hell over there for my safety. And so another reason why is, for me personally, it kind of felt about me, kind of that 10% of me feeling bad, only because simple fact of yesterday, Milan, Rio, and homeboy with the blue hat that went up there for Jonathan. Now, homeboy with the blue hat probably wasn't allowed. He probably didn't sign up. He probably didn't have mics or anything. I don't know. He wasn't allowed up there, but however, he was still there. Those 3 were there for Jonathan. The following day, Jonathan brings him and I believe Sheik. I think that's the only 2 he had over there, or somebody else in the black. I don't know, whatever. He bring his people over. So at some, like, I can understand, because the severity of it is like you got hurt, but at the same time, I don't feel bad, because like you guys have done the exact same thing, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna direct this point to Milan, because even after watching a little bit of Rio's interview, I can kind of understand where he was a little bit. I can understand it. But the thing is, Milan, is that you can't get mad when you did the same thing yesterday. But the thing is, it's not coming out in your favor. It's not in your favor. So you can't get mad about things going left. But however, if things would have went left and if it was in your favor, would have thought to go this far with it? No. It's like, because it's the same way how before when Jonathan was there, you was real timid and you didn't want to address him and even try to introduce yourself like that. But then when you got Rio and other homeboy with the blue hat there, all of a sudden you want to say in your confessional, I want to introduce Jonathan to the house. You had this all this little spice and all this little thing going on because you knew you had backup. So Milan, bye. Anyway, so with that being said, the ambulance ended up coming. Milan is going crazy. He's talking to the cops once again, but however, based on his track record, we're not even shocked about that. He's calling the cops or whatever. So he wants to know who did it, how did he get inside? He wants answers. So the whole thing is that he feels like he has speculation that it had something to do with Gutter K, Skittles, and Carmex, aka Rarely B, Darrell. So the thing is that he has speculation, but he doesn't have answers. Cool, whatever. We go to the next scene. Next thing we see all these hoes by the damn pool. When they by the pool, they basically talking about the situation. Now this is very short. They talk about the situation. Anthony come up. He talking about some everything. What happened? They tell him about what happened, and then they talk about what the fuck they say? Oh, they was like, Anthony was like, are we gonna talk to the police about this? And then it was like, no. And then everybody was like, no, we don't talk to cops. We don't talk to cops. And then Anthony was like, and then they asked him, are you gonna talk to the police? He was like, nah, we don't talk to cops. Then why did you ask that question? What was the purpose of you asking that question if none of y'all talk to cops? If it's an unsaid rule, then what's the point of trying to address it, girl? Whatever. Anyway, long story short, Gutter was living for the BS. I feel like, all of them was living for the BS. I'm gonna be honest with you. And then they talked about whether or not what everybody's gonna do once the show ends. They wanted to know, was Carry On, Neo Soul, and Gutter K, Skittles was gonna be a thing, or at least visit or whatever after the show. They said they're gonna be sitting there doing music. I highly doubt that. I really do believe that Gutter K, if not already has happened, at least when he gets out, he's going to have his esophagus very much available. I'm just saying. But however, that's really what that was. Now, the next scene we end up seeing, or somewhere along there, because it probably happened before, girl. We end up seeing, what's this bitch name? Dylan. There we go. I forgot that. That's another thing. I be forgetting that his ass be on the show. I'll be forgetting. Girl, I'm over here sweating like a hoe in church, bitch. Like, I don't be forgetting that his ass be on the show. That is crazy. I totally forgot this bitch was on the show. So, we have Dylan, aka Twilight, and DMV, aka Curtis. Well, I think, you know what? I like Curtis now. So with Curtis, I'm gonna start saying his real name because I like Curtis now. Because I'm starting to see what I've been seeing. So I'm a lot. So Curtis and Twilight. So they sitting there walking or whatever. Twilight looks so uncomfortable. I'll be wondering why he's there. And then on top of that, he be in the confessionals talking so much ish. And I'm like, you already look uncomfortable being there. And imagine when a bitch press you, you're gonna be sitting there scared, like, ugh, take him off the screen. Anyway, they talk about what the hell happened. Twilight is saying that he didn't know what was going on. He was in the back smoking his hookah. In the midst of him smoking his hookah and stuff, he found out that Rio allegedly took his shoes. Well, he didn't find that out. Social media kind of put that together. But however, his shoes went missing. And so I was like, girl, well, that is a house party. That's the name of the game. And to be quite honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though, because I know that these bitches steal, and I know how bad Girls Club works, and on top of that, this Bad Boys Club is on the backs of Bad Girls Club. These hoes just might fuck up your shit. I'm bringing nothing but cheap shit. Nothing but cheap shit or shit I don't give a fuck about. Now, I would still be mad that you wouldn't touch my stuff. However, I'm not going to be as mad because I already came prepared. I got to be 10 steps ahead of these hoes. But however, with that being said, they kind of talk about, you know, little shit, this, that, and the third. I really do start. I like Curtis. I like Curtis because Dylan Twilight called him girl. But however, in the midst of calling girl, he just said, I'm not your girl. He just let it be known. He's not as fragile as Moolah, per se. So that whole scene is over. Now we're gonna fast forward because a lot of shit is just unnecessary. So basically, we end up getting to where they're like in the campfire song, bitch. They all sitting down. Now Milan and Rio, they all walk up, but the thing is, I feel so bad for Rio because when this boy sat down, he sat down with his hand messed up, hair missing. Now he did clarify in his interview, the parts that I seen, is that he did it for a look. So it wasn't like his real hair. But however, in order for you to be able to connect your hair, you have to have your actual hair out. Like I don't know what he was saying. I don't know, did he have a man weave on? Or did he just have weave that was connected to his real hair? I don't know. But I felt bad. I felt so bad, girl. Girl, and then you got this scary ass bitch right next to you. Girl, I was over this house. Anyway, they sitting down and everybody's sitting up here trying to figure out why is Rio here. And I felt bad. I have to keep saying I felt bad for him in this scene because I think the thing is, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you another reason why I feel bad. I feel bad because the simple fact of because I kind of got a glimpse of it before, like, you know, when I saw him on the show and kind of beforehand. But however, it kind of confirmed my thoughts watching him in the interview. He seems like a very cool dude. He does. He seems like a very cool dude. He seems very laid back, cool, and stuff. So I felt bad for the situation he was put in, like, and kind of inserted himself as well. So I kind of wish that with Rio, personally, this is my personal opinion, I kind of wish with Rio, he would have came in the beginning. With the rest of the cast, and it gave us a chance to actually get to know him a little bit more, or kind of confirm what we're kind of seeing right now. I just think the situation kind of fucked him up a little bit, physically and kind of from us viewing him, because I felt like he would just come in trying to defend his friend, but yet still not getting the proper introduction so people know who he is within the show. Because he did clarify and say he was part of the show, but beforehand, but not get a proper introduction. So now you done fought this man. You done went up, and then you sitting down. Everybody like, who are you? Like, why are you here? Girl, it was a lot going on. But in the midst of that, the episode kind of just go off at that point. And then we find out we got another episode. So hopefully in the next episode we get a chance to we get a chance to see more of Rio, see more of his personality. Because I was like, we get an episode. I thought this shit was done. But even if this is done, but what? And then on top of the episode, don't look like, it kind of looks like a filler episode. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It looks like a filler. So hopefully, something else is coming. As in, either they're about to go home, or we're about to get a mid-season trailer that lets you know of stuff that we don't get a chance to see. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe, I could be wrong. I believe the rate. I don't want to say ratings. Is it ratings? Because it's like it's internet based. Is it ratings? I'm gonna use lack of better words right now because I don't know what the right terminology is. I believe the ratings gonna drop after, because Jonathan left. This is what people was anticipating though, was Jonathan getting inside the house to see the dynamic of the house. So, and plus the next episode, now I can see if the next episode was bringing like some more bangers, like something crazy, but it's looking like it's going to be quite dead. So with that being said, there's no point even still watching it. Well, for some people, I'm going to still watch it and see. But however, that's really it for my review for today, guys. There was something else I wanted to say. Let me see. Can I remember? Let me see. Can I remember? Oh, nope, it slipped my mind. But okay, so with that being said, that is it for my review for today, guys. Oh, that's all I wanted to say. There we go. That's the trick. Gotta stop thinking about it. All right, so that's all I wanted to say. Another thing that I liked about Rio is that Rio has stamina. Rio has stamina because even despite being scalped, even despite being hit with chairs, even despite being receiving a beatdown, he will still keep getting back up and want to keep fighting. Now, I will say this, is that I felt like size was a bit of a disadvantage for him. Yes, we do understand the skill set. We got into all that yesterday, girl. But we do understand the whole thing about the skill set. But I do believe, because the way that I did see Rio was knocking Jonathan here and there, I just felt like if he had a little bit more size on him, I felt like he probably did a little bit or a lot more better. Because the reason why I said that is because even when Rio got hit from behind and just about drowned inside of the pond over there, homeboy with the blue hat pushed Jonathan across the damn street, bitch. So my thing is, I just felt like if he had a little bit more size on him, I felt like he would have been able to tussle a little bit more. But yeah, that's really it for my review for today, guys. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack the notification bell for anybody. Oh, and that's another thing too. Just so you guys are aware, I'm gonna say this on all my videos for today. People have been asking me, what's your cash app? What's your cash app? So from now on, my cash app name is the name. Damn, bitch, right here is the name that you see right here. So it makes it easy for all of us. Okay, I'm over here sweating like a hoe in church. I don't know why it gets so hot here. Jesus, I really do appreciate it. Thank you. But with that being said, that is it for my video for today, guys. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack that notification bell so do not miss any of my posts from me. Let's get straight into this video. Let me get together because I'm over here hot, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. So with that being said, I'll see you hoes later. Bye.